Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here for some more Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Daima DLC updates. Today we have some additional information and confirmation on some of the things I speculated in the recent Kakarot video. We're going to go ahead and break everything down. Without further ado, make sure to drop a like, turn on post notifications, and let's jump straight into it. So over here on the official Dragon Ball site, this is something that we went over before, but it is very interesting. So it says only the PlayStation 5 version will be available physically, and of course they're referring to the Daima Edition of DBZ Kakarot. Then it says the Switch version will also include the story arc A New Power Awakens Parts 1 and 2. I thought, cool. They're just reminding us that we can purchase the Switch copy of Kakarot, but it comes with DLCs 1 and 2, which this was already a thing. And by the way, this is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. They're not doing this at all. They don't necessarily have their own exclusive DLC bundles up until now with the Daima Edition. Of course, only for the PlayStation 5, that's what it said. But real quick, DLC 1, just a reminder, that's going to be the Battle of Gods saga. I know it's not necessarily 100% accurate to the movie or anime, but they captured the main points, right? You know, we have Super Saiyan God, Goku, and Vegeta. They increased the level cap to 250, I believe, with additional supers. They updated the skill tree. We get to go up against Beerus, Whis, you know, part of the training regiments, and so on and so forth. DLC 2 is going to be the Resurrection of F saga. Again, not 100% accurate, but we have the main plots. Pretty identical to DLC 1 with Beerus and Whis, except they just increased their level caps to 300. Same thing for the cast characters, Vegeta and Goku. You know, Super Saiyan Blue with additional supers, and of course we get to go up against Golden Frieza, and there's even more content post DLC after you complete the main storyline. I think there's like an additional Golden Frieza boss fight. It's pretty epic stuff. So again, I thought they just put this here to remind us, but with the new information that we got, it seems like we're going to be getting the Daima Edition of Kakarot for the Switch as well. So going back to over here, why does it say only the PlayStation 5 version will be available physically? I think it's not necessarily a big deal, but I just feel like whenever they talk about the PlayStation, they're comparing it to the Xbox console. It's never comparing it to the Switch, right? It's always Xbox and PlayStation, and then whenever they talk about the Switch, it's like its own separate conversation, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's kind of cool. Don't get me wrong. So the Daima Edition of Kakarot, it's going to be for the PlayStation 5 and Switch, right? And the Switch, it's a pretty good deal. We'll go ahead and break all that down. But it's strange, at the time of recording this video, nothing is confirmed for the Xbox. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Or I guess it is technically confirmed, because going back over here on the official site, it does say only the PlayStation 5 version will be receiving the physical copy. And again, I think that's referring to them comparing it to the Xbox console, since we have confirmation that the Switch will also be getting the Daima physical edition. I mean, of course, you can still purchase the Daima DLCs for Xbox. It just says that we're not, Xbox players at least, won't be able to get the Daima edition if you really wanted that, which is kind of unfortunate. But going back over here, by the way, big thanks to Warrior64 for sharing. We can now pre-order the Daima edition of the game. It will cost us $52 at least with this website that they put up for us, but you can pre-order Daima over on the Bandai Namco website. Now, of course, I already have DBZ Kakarot purchased, and I already purchased the Season Pass, but something I mentioned in the previous Kakarot video, I speculated that the game itself, the bundle, might cost around $50 or $55, just because the standalone game for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series, or even Xbox One, right now currently costs $20, and the DLC is going to cost $35, so that's a total of $55. But if you're looking forward to purchasing DBZ Kakarot in the future, you know, with all the DLC contents, then I highly recommend saving for the Daima Edition, because this will cost $50 over here on the Bandai Namco site. So you will be saving yourself $5, which is pretty dang good if you ask me. Again, only for the PS5 and Switch. It's not confirmed for the Xbox, at least at the time of recording this video here. Now, the Switch, you actually get more DLCs, more content for less money. So we'll go ahead and break all this down. Again, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, all $20. The Switch, again, this is going to cost $30 US because it does come with the DLCs 1 and 2, also known as A New Power Awakens set. However, if you decide to purchase Daima Edition over on the Switch, this will still cost you $50, which is the same price as the PS5 edition. But the only difference is that the Switch comes again with DLCs 1 and 2. So not only that you're getting the base Kakarot game with both parts of Daima, but you're also getting DLCs 1 and 2, all for the same price as the PS5 edition. So you're essentially getting DLCs 1 and 2 for free, technically, when you look at it. So that means you would need to purchase DLCs 3, 4, 5, and 6 if you're planning on purchasing all the DLCs, and again, if you don't already have DBZ Kakarot. However, it doesn't necessarily have the next-gen graphics, because I'm sure you all know that the Xbox Series and PS5, the original game, it received a giant revamp in terms of graphics, you know, the loading speed times, all that crazy stuff. I mean, we have two different settings, the performance mode, the quality mode. It's pretty dang epic, right? So the Switch, it won't necessarily have the next-gen upgrades, but speaking of the Switch, as we all know, Switch 2 is literally going to be dropping in the next couple of months. Will we be receiving a next-gen upgrade for DBZ Kakarot? They did it for Xbox, they did it for PlayStation, so I could potentially see an upgraded variation of Kakarot for the Switch 2. I mean, they recently dropped the specs a couple days ago. It's definitely strong enough to support DBZ Kakarot in all its glory. You know, the handheld mode that can go up to 1080p, 120 FPS. But if you dock it, play it on TV, it can go up to 4K resolution, HDR with 60 FPS frames per second. So that's pretty dang good. It can do basically all the things that PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series can do. So I can definitely see an upgraded version for DBZ Kakarot Switch 2. So again, just want to reiterate, Switch 2, you do get the most content out of the dollars, that's for dang sure. And that's pretty much it in regards to the new information. It's confirmed that Daima Edition will be for the Switch, and the bundle itself will cost around $50 US. Now here we have a lot of the older information that I went over many times before, but I know not everybody watches all the Kakarot videos, so this is just for the people who don't necessarily know. DLC Pack 7, that's pretty much what it is, but, you know, DLC 1 in terms of the Daima pack. This is going to be releasing Q3 of 2025, so either July, August, or September. We still don't have an exact release just yet, but relatively soon. Hopefully, it's the first month of Q3, July, because I just want to, you know, revisit DBZ Kakarot once again. I think it's a phenomenal game, 10 out of 10 for sure. I mean, so far, they only dropped one teaser and a couple screenshots. We have 6 additional gameplay screenshots right over here. Cutscenes, they're going to go crazy. But going back to the trailer, just let that play out in the background if I can find it. There it is. Yeah, I did a complete gameplay breakdown of it. It seems pretty promising. Look at Gloria with all his electric magic combat style going crazy. Part 2, as I already mentioned, it's going to be dropping next year, 2026. How crazy is that? Hey, don't worry about it. They're cooking up peak. Y'all already know. Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta, and the adult forms, the final battle, Goma. That's why they need some time to cook up peak gaming over here, right? So that's Q1 2026. You know what's crazy? By the time part 1 for Daima drops, the Switch 2 is already going to be out. By the time part 2 for Daima DLC drops, GTA 6 is probably going to be out if there's no delays, because it's been scheduled for 2025 release. And then we do have additional bonuses right down here. The Ultimate Meat Feast, the Sacred Water, the Purple Dino item, and Awakening Water. This is if you pre-order the bundle right now, which I already did. This was available about a month or two ago. Again, $35. You won't be able to play it right now when the DLCs drop, right? It's just pre-ordering the DLCs. This is pretty much it for today's video. Stay tuned to the channel in regards to everything DBZ Kakarot related. I mean, some time has passed ever since this first trailer here. I mean, I'm not necessarily expecting one this month, but maybe next month we might get an additional trailer. I don't know, just closer to the Q3 release, and then we'll be getting a lot more information. So stay tuned to the channel for everything Dragon Ball gaming related. We have Xenoverse 2 DLC on the horizon. Sparking Zero DLC should be dropping this month as well. Kakarots. We have the new Dragon Ball mobile game, Project Multi. I don't think that's the official title of the game just yet. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to everything Dragon Ball games related. Thank you guys for the immense support as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace!